Hello guys! Support us and subscribe to our channel. Give likes and write comments. Today we will read Sunken Caribbean Ship Legend. Well, let's get started. Once upon a time, in the Caribbean Sea, there was a ship named the Black Pearl. It was a fierce and powerful ship, feared by all who sailed the seas. But one day, as the ship was sailing through treacherous waters, a powerful storm struck. The crew fought bravely against the raging winds and waves, but the ship was no match for the fury of the sea. The ship was tossed and turned, and eventually it was swallowed by the sea. The crew managed to escape on lifeboats, but the Black Pearl was lost forever. The ship now lies at the bottom of the sea, a haunting reminder of the power of nature and the dangers of the sea. Many years have passed since the sinking of the Black Pearl, but the legend of the ship lives on. Sailors still tell tales of the ship and the brave crew who sailed on it. Some say that the ship was cursed and that it was doomed to sink from the very beginning. Others say that the crew was reckless and ignored the warning signs of the approaching storm. But no one knows for sure what truly happened that fateful day. As the years passed, many treasure hunters have searched for the Black Pearl, hoping to find the treasure that was said to be on board. But the ship remains lost, and the treasure remains a mystery. Some say that the ship and its treasure are still out there, waiting to be discovered. But others say that the ship and its treasure are forever lost, and that they will never be found. Despite the mystery surrounding the sinking of the Black Pearl, one thing is certain: the ship and its crew will always be remembered as a legend of the sea. And on stormy nights, when the winds howl and the waves crash, you can still hear the ghostly crew of the Black Pearl singing and dancing on the deck of their ship as it sinks into the depths of the sea. The ship will always be remembered as a symbol of the dangers and beauty of the sea and the brave men who sail on it. Even though the ship is lost forever, the legend of the Black Pearl will live on forever. Years passed, and the legend of the Black Pearl continued to spread throughout the Caribbean. Many sailors set out to find the ship, but none were successful. That is, until a young sailor by the name of Jack Sparrow came along. He was a man who had a reputation for being a bit of a rogue, but he was also known for his skills as a navigator and his determination. He had heard the tales of the Black Pearl and was convinced that he could find it. Jack gathered a crew of his own and set out to find the Black Pearl. He searched the Caribbean Sea for months, combing through every inch of the sea, looking for any clues that might lead him to the ship. He talked to sailors, searched through old ship logs, and even consulted with a few pirates who claimed to have knowledge of the ship's whereabouts. Finally, after months of searching, Jack's persistence paid off. He found a map that led him to a remote island in the Caribbean. He and his crew landed on the island, and after a bit of searching, they found a cave that led to a hidden cove. And there, lying at the bottom of the cove, was the black pearl. The ship was in bad shape, but it was still recognizable as the Black Pearl. Jack and his crew worked tirelessly to repair the ship and make it seaworthy again. They outfitted it with new sails and weapons, and after a few months, the Black Pearl was ready to sail again. With the Black Pearl back in action, Jack and his crew set out to reclaim the ship's treasure. They battled fierce storms, fought off other treasure hunters, and even had to deal with a few ghostly encounters. But in the end, they succeeded. They found the treasure and they became the most famous and successful crew in the Caribbean. From that day on, the Black Pearl sailed the seas once more, and Jack Sparrow became known as the captain of the most legendary ship in the Caribbean. His legend lived on, and many sailors looked up to him as an inspiration. The ship and its crew continued to have many adventures together. They sailed to many ports, met many people, and had many battles. Some of them were against the British Navy, some against other pirate ships, and even against powerful sea monsters. But the Black Pearl and its crew always emerged victorious. Years passed, and Jack Sparrow became a legend, not just in the Caribbean, but in the whole world. His name was known by sailors and pirates, merchants and governors, by rich and poor. He became a symbol of freedom and adventure. He was admired by many and hated by some. But no one could deny his skills and his courage. The Black Pearl and its crew sailed the seas for many years, but eventually the ship had to retire. Jack Sparrow decided to retire with it. The ship was too old, and he was getting too old. He sold the Black Pearl to a wealthy merchant and decided to settle down. He bought a small island and built a house there. He lived there for the rest of his days, enjoying the peace and the quiet. He would often tell stories of his adventures to the people who visited him, and they were always amazed by them. The Black Pearl is still remembered as one of the most famous ships in the history of the Caribbean Sea, and Jack Sparrow as one of the most famous captains. His legend lives on, and many sailors still look up to him as an inspiration. And even though he is gone, his spirit still sails the seas on the ghostly ship that once was the Black Pearl. Thank you! Learn English with us easily and fun. Support us and subscribe to our channel. Give likes and write comments. Watch new videos on our channel every day. See you soon and bye bye.